Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Dave's ultimate testing of drivers.
We'll find one eventually, Chris.
We're hopefully going to find one. So we know Dave's got his new irons, we're testing drivers. We've been out on the golf course with the TSR1 and the Callaway Paradym, and we're going to put the shots on the screen as we go through this video. We'll show you obviously the different shots to hit outside. We'll talk through obviously the distances on the golf course in comparison in here, which you'll probably be interested in. It's slightly different to say the least. So we're going to get the numbers in here as well, guys. We're going to test them now. We're going to hit 5 shots. We've just been on the golf course, and like I say, they'll be on. But straight in, Dave's going to start with a Paradym. We saw last week with the TSR1, it was the leader in the clubhouse. He was getting around about 216 yards carry.
Yep.
And running out to about 240 as an average. So it was very good. We're going to get the numbers on the screen, which you will see as we go through each shot. And we're going to start with the Paradym and then move on to this TSR. So, you'll see on the screen, you'll see there obviously there is a nice little draw on there, 88.1 miles an hour, so a little bit down on normal. Spin 1.8, so a little bit lower than what we would hope for. We want to be seeing Dave around about the 2.6 number. Only 160 yards carry, running out to 205, so certainly different than the numbers we saw last week. So again, straight up on screen. Oh, Dave's giving that a little bit more. 91 miles an hour, but we can see that's hooked a little bit, we could say.
Low and hooky.
Overdraw, so 1.7 spin again, but 181 yards carry and 230, so closer to the numbers we saw before. So we've got to make sure with Dave, he has been working on his driver technique with that left arm.
Trying to
see that spin number a little bit low, so that's going to affect the amount of carry we get. So let's get that left arm working better. Still a little bit low, but up the middle there. Back down at 88 miles an hour, so not much carry on this one again. Maybe 177, 216 yards. So launched pretty low, but a good spin. So that spin's gone up because of where it struck on the face. So probably a little bit low on the face, but then still out there at 216, which interestingly enough was the carry for the TSR last week. So
better.
Much better launch there, much more like Dave's previous shots. A towering draw, 87 miles an hour, 192 yards carry and 231 total. So, 5th and final one, a nice towering draw as you can see there on the screen, out to 231, which was much closer to what we were seeing previously with this driver, but still down on that carry.
Oh, that will be, that's awful.
A little bit of a hook there from Dave, so very interesting numbers that we saw, similar to what's on the course. If we see the drives now on the golf course with Dave, we certainly saw that we hit one down the middle, we hit a couple down the left, and that's really what we've seen inside. So we can see that the numbers aren't performing as good as it was previously, but that's certainly when Dave's working on technique. We can see when he gets it right, we get the good numbers, we get out to that 230 number.
But when he gets it wrong,
it's not going as far, which is what was happening with Dave's previous driver. So if we look at dispersion now, guys, quickly before we move on to the TSR1, we'll see on average the carry was 171 yards. If I have a look at the total average was 216. So very interesting. That was actually the carry distance we saw last week. If we look, we've got 3 that would have been in the fairway and we have 2 over 30 yards left. We know that is a little bit of technique, but we can also see that's brought down Dave's averages from those couple of bad drives. Okay, so first one up now with the TSR1. I'm going to hit the same 5 shots and see what the outcome is. Straight away, a great flight there from Dave. Similar speed, 201 carry, Dave, 224. So instantly further carry. Total numbers are also good. Just up the left-hand side of the fairway and a great height. Good spin, 3,100. I'd be happy for that with Dave.
Don't know where that went.
That is again a low one. That is a little bit of pilot error, but it'd be very interesting to compare that to the ones with the Paradym. So interestingly enough, more spin there, 2,300, 180 yards carry and still gone 230. So it could be flirting with out of bounds, but it still carried further than it did with that kind of shot from the Paradym, and that's what we want to see. So you'll see on screen there we've got the average total for the TSR1 at 227 yards. So you can see on screen the difference there. The Paradym was going on average 216. We've also got a few higher shots, so launching higher. If we switch over now onto the Paradym, you'll see as an average launching lower and not coming out as how we'd want it. Dave hits it too low, as we know as a rule. That's why we're going with a 12-degree driver. That's
very shallow.
Very shallow. That's why we're working on his angle of attack and his launch conditions. But from the two drivers, we did have 3 in the fairway, as you can see with the Paradym, and with the TSR1, we only had 1, but the front to back dispersion is a little bit more consistent. The lefts are from technique, not from the driver. So we want the driver that's going to give Dave the most yardage, which at the moment is the TSR1. We do need to straighten him up, but that is more on the things that we've been working, as you'll see on the lessons that are on the channel. So guys, you can see that we've gone through those drivers, we've tested them on the course. I will also overlay the shots with the TSR1 out on the golf course. So far, dispersion-wise, it is a little bit left, but we know that's something we're working on with Dave on his technique, but so distance-wise...
It's keeping the elbow down into it.
It's keeping that connection of that left arm, and if you want to see Dave's driver lesson and what we've worked on, I'll put a link below or above.
30 years of chicken wings, I'm afraid.
30 years of chicken wing, but the TSR1 was there outperforming for the same kind of strikes, Dave.
Yes, there were.
In regards to front and back and distance, that is going further.
It is.
Yeah, and
definitely.
That's working better. Distance-wise, we want to straighten Dave up with his own technique. But you can see even when Dave got more up the middle, it wasn't going as far.
No.
Yeah, so he might have been hitting more fairways. He's further back, and you've got to look at that relationship.
And the carry was much, much better with the
carry much better, and that's the thing. Do you want, obviously, shorter drives and a couple more in the fairway, or do you want to work on your technique, straighten that up, and then get the driver that hits you the furthest? That's what you've got to decide. So next week, guys, we're testing a couple more budget drivers, so a little bit more affordable. These drivers both coming in over £500. Next week's driver, we are looking at the PXG driver, so we are going to obviously talk through the specs of that. We know I've tested that and James Robinson's tested it, and there were some good numbers with that, and we've also got one that everybody's been asking for, the Tour Edge driver, which has got a lot of things going on with it.
It does.
A lot of adjustability, but affordable. So that's what we're going to test next week. So guys, hopefully you're enjoying this series. Hopefully you're enjoying the iron series with Dave's new irons. We're going to have wedges to go through shortly as well. So Dave's got a lot of filming to do. So
it's good you'll be enjoying your company, Chris.
It's a good job, yeah. And Leeds are doing all right at the moment, so he's not too depressed. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again later in the week.